What up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Auto Tempest. Auto Tempest is a great service that helps you save time. And if you're like me, time equals money, therefore you save money. Auto Tempest saves you time by allowing you to not have to do things twice. What I mean is, normally, if you're looking for a car, you got to check out like a dozen different sites. And what happens, right? You see the same cars listed over and over, different sites. And you just wish that somebody would do the work for you of looking through all of that garbage and just helping you find what you want. That's what Autotempest.com does. It searches all of those sites for with your queries, whether you're browsing or looking for a specific car, and it brings them all into one place, then compares those results from Craigslist nationally and eBay Motors. It really simplifies the search for a car. You don't have to do double work. You don't have to spend hours looking around just to find the same cars listed over and over on a million different sites. Autotempest.com has you covered. We're so happy to have them as a sponsor. They've been around for a long time, and I use them when I'm looking for a car. When I was looking for a car for Hannah, I used Auto Tempest. I ended up getting some weirdo JDM stuff, but still, Auto Tempest helped me gauge the market. Check out Autotempest.com next time you're looking for a car. And, of course, the Brio Beardscape charged mine back up, and I am ready to go for like another year. The Beardscape is a revolutionary new type of buzzer. You know, a trimmer, like the battery-powered thing that trims your hair. Just about every guy's got one, and just about every guy has had an experience with a bad one. I know I have. Whether it's the blades get dull, the motor's loud, or not that powerful, it wears out, the battery stops holding charge, things fall off it. If that sounds familiar, it is time to upgrade to the Brio Beardscape. It's got a powerful motor, a really big, long-lasting battery, and the blades are ceramic, so they don't rust, and they stay sharp longer than the stainless steel blades. It also means you don't have to oil it quite as often, but it does work better if you do oil it on a normal schedule. Comes in a great travel case. I have been using it a lot. It pretty much bounced a professional grade, like barber's buzzer out of my DOP kit, and it's certainly the only buzzer that I carry on the road. Go to Brio4life.com. That's the word Brio, B-R-I-O, the number 4life.com, and use code SMOKING to get the best price on the internet on the Brio Beardscape. That's Brio4life.com/smoking. And lastly, it's those Continental belts and hoses. They're back for you, baby. When you're doing a service on your car, you're changing your oil, you're looking at your brake pads, you're doing filters. What are you not thinking about, but you really should be? Belts and hoses, people. Hoses, they're in your car. They age. They dry out. If you live in a desert climate, they dry out faster. If your car's older, they might need to be replaced. Check them out. If you blow a hose, you lose your coolant, you're stuck on the side of the road. It could be a big problem, and you don't want that to be a surprise because hoses are not expensive. Belts are not expensive. It's easy to keep those things maintained, especially with Continental belts and hoses. They are launching the aftermarket multi-V belt with the OE pedigree. And what that means is Continental belts are OE, original equipment, in tens of millions of Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, and GM vehicles that roll off the assembly line. They're also OE in the majority of BMWs and Volkswagens. Now, Continental is launching the aftermarket multi-V belt with the OE pedigree. It's engineered fanatically for perfect fit, form, and function. So, check your belts, check your hoses next time you pop your hood, and if they are dry, cracking, or in need of replacement, Continental has you covered. Go to oetechnologyseries.com. That's oetechnologyseries.com. All right. On this episode of the show, my friend Kristen Lee from Jalopnik is in town. She's one of my press car buddies, one of a few people that I enjoy sharing cars with on press launches. She has just finished the Huracan Evo launch here at Willow Springs in Los Angeles, and I love spending time with her. Kristen Lee from Jalopnik is on the Smoking Tire Podcast. Hi.
Hello.
All right. It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. It is actually the Smoking Tire Podcast. What's happening in the world? It's Thursday. I did a show yesterday, so we're gonna have to find some new shit to talk about. But that's okay because Kristen Lee's in the house. She's been driving Lambos. Hello. What's happening?
Lambos are good.
Mm-hmm. Typically, they are.
Actually, I'd never driven a Lambo except for the Urus. So this is the first fast. Well, the Urus is fast, but this is the first
sports car.
Yeah,
Lambo. Yeah. Well, I mean, that must have been a treat.
It was.
The to start with the Urus, you really can go up from there.
The Urus
wrong
is
with
fast.
It is.
You and I were on the launch together. I know you didn't like it a whole lot.
I liked a lot of things about it. I did.
Liked the brakes.
I liked a lot of things about it. One of the things I didn't like was that it was very ugly. And one of the other things I didn't like about it was that it was not a Lamborghini. Those were two things I didn't like, but everything else pretty much I liked.
It's Q7 or
I think it's a Q8.
I forget what. Yeah,
Q8, I believe.
It's the big one.
When I saw a Q8 for the first time, which was after I saw Urus, and I couldn't unsee how Q8 it was, especially from the rear. Give me a rear. Here we go.
Yes.
Look, this is some funky ass and actually the Q8 is much better looking. This whole rear taillight section is the same.
It's missing a lot of Megatron, I think.
A lot of Megatron. That's a good. I mean, using Megatron as an adjective, I like.
It is, but if you look at the pictures of the Urus, they're very pointy and spiky, which works for a flatter car.
I don't think
when you add the vertical dimension, it's
correct.
Too much.
Yeah, the reason it's ugly is because that very specific Lamborghini design ethos doesn't work when stretched outside of those proportions.
Yes.
That's what I think.
So therefore, the Huracan Evo was great.
Oh yeah, well I didn't mean to open the show by shitting on Lambo. I'm sorry, that's not what I was trying to do at all. Huracan Evo, it's a Performante powertrain in a normal chassis. Isn't that kind of the thing?
It's got all-wheel steering now, so it's squiggly sometimes.
It's squiggly.
It's a little squiggly.
It's squiggly.
It's a little. It's slidey a little bit when you feel it because you're not used to that much motion coming from the rear end.
Yeah, you mean that ass motion?
Yes. That's what I mean. The twerk.
Aventador SVJ had ass motion as well, which was really, really good actually because the alternative was terminal fucking understeer.
Yes.
It looks very nice. It looks like they have not ruined it.
Nope.
They did in person. It looks just like. Does it look really different, or is it kind of it's kind of the same thing?
No, it's always striking to me how small they are. Mm-hmm. They're very small.
You know what? They're small, but they're dense. They're very dense.
Because it kind of has this very pointy nose, and it comes up and has this shape, and then the ass is really kind of tilts upwards.
Yeah. You probably found it actually really comfortable. They're great for
great.
people who are your size.
I could fit my helmet in perfectly. Yeah. I was like, this. I didn't pull any muscles getting in and out of it.
People that are your size. This is a perfect car for. If you're my size, not so much. Not so much. I can't.
Did you hit your head on the
side pillar? Mm-hmm. I hit my head on, and even if I don't hit my head, just that duck is really hard on my neck to do the duck underneath it. And it's not exclusive to Lamborghini. I get the same thing with Nissan GTR, same thing with the new Supra, same thing with Acura NSX. Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
They all have real low.
I wouldn't know. You know what? Maybe you're the freak. I think they're all perfectly scaled
I'm
cars.
in that, when they say that we build cars to the 95th percentile or whatever.
The 96th.
No, but I'm the 93rd. I'm I found myself on that chart once, and I was right at the fucking.
There's a chart? I want to know.
Yeah. There's a chart of people's sizes and how they build seats to fit in those ranges. Yeah. I forget who showed me that chart. It was at some press launch sometime, but
interesting.
Yeah. So your first, take me back to my first ever modern Lamborghini. How was it? Did it completely blow your mind?
It did. It's the last car of its class that's still the way it is, in that it's
the naturally aspirated. Yeah.
Huge cylinder count, big displacement, high red line. Mm-hmm. That was normal once, 10, 15 years ago. That was the standard. And the Gallardo in those days didn't so much stand out because that was the standard. And now everything else has fallen around it, which makes it unique.
Right. Well, so they kind of had to make a choice, right? Either they had to abandon the naturally aspirated supercars and either make them, like hybrid or smaller displacement with turbos.
Like Ferrari has done.
Yeah, because you do have to keep up with the emissions and the fuel economy regs and all that kind of shit, right? But in order to keep those two cars, more pure or purer as long as they can, they came out with the Urus. That's how they kind of got around that.
Fine. Fine. That's fine.
I think, that's the sacrifice. Hey, look, Aston, remember the Signet? Remember the Aston Martin Signet?
I think there was like a V8 one that they showed off at Goodwood last year. Or
they
like
put some fucking death motor in it. What was this?
That thing.
Signet V8.
The V8.
Yeah, fuck me.
Hell yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I would have loved to drive that thing.
That looks like a death trap, but a good one. Where is the V8?
That's my next question. Is it here?
Because it doesn't. I mean, it's clearly wider, but it's not. It's certainly not fucking longer. Where is it?
Maybe you're sitting on it. I don't know.
Oh my god! Imagine that.
I hope. Oh my god.
Fuck me. Is there any picture of it with the engine visible? Well, here. Look. Here's an interior. So it's not in the interior.
No.
That's a start.
I feel like it's...
Where the fuck is it?
I feel like it's in front of your knees.
It's in front, huh?
It has to be.
Yeah, because look, this dashboard looks like it's been moved back, right?
Right. That comes in a lot.
Right. It's not under the back. There's no way it's under the back. I'm
pretty sure it's in the front.
It's got to be, right? It looks like it's in the front, I think.
So silly. I love it.
That shit is great.
Actually, I think that's our website.
That's Road and Track.
Oh, is it Road and Track?
Yeah. It's my website.
Good job on the headline, Perkins.
Yeah. I can't play the video because I'll get fucking snagged. But, that's cool.
There it is.
That's cool. How did we end up there?
Oh, we were talking about silly cars.
Oh yeah, the cars they had to build in order to continue making the pure cars.
Yeah, the Lambo is excellent. I thought the steering was good. I'm gonna have to internalize it more a little bit, but I think my big takeaway that day was we were at Big Willow, which I haven't been to since December 2012. Okay. Big Willow and I have history.
Good thing it hasn't changed in 60 years.
No, Big Willow and I have history. I had my very first open track day there. The first time I ever touched a track, I brought my C32, and then I came off.
You mean by came off, you mean went off?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
At turn 6. So you do, you're familiar with Big Willow,
yeah? Yes, I am. Hang on, let me get you in a little aerial section. That's not a good one.
It looks like a gun to me. It looks like a pistol.
Or a penis. It's a little bit like freaky cock-like.
Where?
What, the whole...
Like this is the head?
I mean, it's like how a child would draw a dick a little bit. And look, Horse Thief Mile is certainly freaky cock-like. Actually, it's streets. That's streets. I apologize. That's streets, not Horse Thief Miles over here.
Anyway, phallic discussion aside.
Yeah.
You see what you want to see. So here's like, pit, you come.
Turn 1.
Turn 2. And then you climb up this
3,
hill.
4.
5, 6 right here.
6 is here.
Right here, downhill. That's where I lost it.
Yeah? And did you end up on the inside here?
Yeah. So you know how like it goes downhill?
Yeah, it's off camber.
Yeah. So like the ass came right around. I was going about 85, 90 miles an hour. Ass came right around. I swear to God, I thought I was going to flip down there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It was terrifying. I'm surprised I didn't.
How bad did you break the car?
Not bad.
That's extremely lucky if you didn't break the car.
So like the windows went down.
Yeah,
because they want the windows down and everything. Yeah. So all the fucking dust came in, and I turned it off, and then I was like, okay, like didn't flip. So they came and they towed me back to the pits, and the worst thing that happened was some rock chips, and I ripped the tire off the wheel. That was the worst thing that
happened. You are extremely lucky.
I know.
Look at this. This is pretty much... ignore that this is a 360 Modena because I actually believe this is a Ferrari F50. And this is what, like, if you look at a big map of Willow Springs, you're like, oh, great. Like, there's nothing to hit. And, like, no, there's, like, big rocks and ravines. Rocks,
yeah.
Like, you could roll so easily there.
I thought I was going to roll.
Yeah, you can completely decimate your undercarriage and suspension. And, by the way, this is totally an F50 that got either it's fake or I don't think it's fake.
That doesn't. If you go back to the engine, that looks real.
Oh yeah, that's an F50.
That's an F50.
Somebody had a real bad day.
That sucks.
That is an expensive day out there. Wow. But yeah, if you go off at Willow, your car gets fucked up.
So there was some bad rock chips, which took me a while to get over because I'm a perfectionist, and also it took forever to vacuum all the dirt out. But that's the worst thing that happened. And some very nice people saw me like in despair, and they were like, "Do you have a spare?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." They're like, "Okay, here, we brought our jacks." They jacked it up and they helped me change the tire, and they're like, "See, it's good as new. Like, you're fine. Just go get it checked when you get home. Everyone crashes. It's fine." I was like, "But I crashed." Like, it was so sad. And I haven't been back since. So we were driving out there in Rosamond, and when you're coming up, you pass the entrance for Streets. And I was like, "Oh, we're here." We went past the entrance for Streets, and I was like, "Oh, shit." So we like go up to the entrance for Big Willow, and I was like, "Fuck! All right." We meet again. So we go out for our hot laps, and we're like going up the hill, coming back down, and we're like coming up to turn 6, and I'm just like pulling away.
You had like a Days of Thunder moment.
I was like pulling away from the guy. He's like, "You got to speed up a little bit." And I was like, "Nope, nope. Just gonna stay right here."
It didn't occur to you that you're in like a $250,000 Lamborghini and not like
absolutely.
an old Mercedes?
Absolutely. I was in a car that was twice as powerful. What's 350 times? Okay, almost twice as powerful.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
That costs way more than.
It costs 10 times as much.
It costs more than I am worth, and in front of a lot of people with cameras.
Yeah.
So.
Still, it was fine, right?
I lived, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Fine.
It was fine.
Willow is sketch, though.
So that's sort of the thing. I'm surprised they used Big Willow because
where else is it supposed to stretch its legs?
I mean, there are several other places you could. And also, like, yes, you could do Streets. Big Willow... This turn 8 and 9 complex.
This is some ass.
Yeah, I don't like Big Willow because it's pretty much about your tires, your aero, your horsepower, and your balls. It's not a hard track. There's only 9 corners. The line is pretty straightforward. The surface is garbage. It eats up tires, but like, I actually don't find it that fun. It's like, how brave are you willing to be through this section?
You know what's kind of like what was spooky about it was when I did my first track day. I think I was 21 years old.
Yeah,
I was 21. And I guess when you're like 21, no offense to anyone who's 21 listening, like you don't have much of a judgment in your brain just yet. So when I went, I was like, "Oh, sure, it'll be fine. I'm not gonna get anything checked. I'm not, whatever. I'm just gonna show up and check my tire pressure.
This will be cool.
It'll be cool. This will be fun." So I went and like I drove it and I took the instructor with me. They were very nice and they showed me all the apexes and like when to brake and eyes up and everything like that. And I did fine. I thought Willow was fine. I thought it was so fun. And then now I've been doing this job for a while. I know more about what you're supposed to do for track driving and what you're supposed to do to be safe and what a car that is tracky supposed to feel like and also what a good track is supposed to feel like. And then I come back to this track, like my reckoning, and it's like, this track is sketchy as fuck.
Yeah.
This track is scary.
Now that you know better, you're like, what?
This track is very scary.
Yeah. And like, I learned that like when I drove like season 2 of Drive on NBC Sports, when we got to drive the Monaco Grand Prix circuit, you're like, yo, this is so narrow. Like, what the fuck what is going on? They race here? Like, this is crazy. But yeah, Willow, I think for a press launch, I mean, it's a very challenging track just mentally, but like for a press launch, I'm surprised because it's a risky place where like you could have a big problem. Although I guess you said they were doing like lead follow.
Yeah, they're doing lead follow. They were not.
So they're probably not going to have that big of a problem.
Yeah, no. It was also like it was 97 degrees. It was
that's the other problem.
So hot.
There's a few problems with Willow. Hot. The wind, it's typically like a 30-mile-an-hour wind out there, so you can't get audio for nothing. But I would have hot. If I was Lambo, I would have used Chuckwalla.
I've never been to Chuckwalla.
Chuckwalla's fun, man.
Let me see Chuckwalla.
That's where they shoot NBC Proving Grounds.
Yes.
And it is out in the desert. It sucks that it's in the middle of nowhere.
Oh God!
It's like
that's
30
like where the
miles.
UFOs land.
Yeah, it's like 30 miles past Palm Springs. Is that a big enough image? And it's really this image is terrible. Sorry. It's really in the middle of nowhere, but
it looks nice.
The surface is fantastic. What's the best image I have? Do I not have a large one? I'm sorry. The surface is fantastic. If you do have an off there, there we go. It's really
flat.
They grade it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. And so you don't go off into like a big like ravine. Like you see how on the outsides of the corners here
nice.
It's graded.
It's real gentle.
It's much more gentle anyway. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like Willow has got these boulders the size of watermelons just sitting out there.
Dude, back in the day when we were shooting the Speed Network show, the car show, me and Adam Carolla, he had a little whoopsie off of turn 2 at Willow. And he somehow was like steering and hit the windshield wiper stalk somehow with his hand. And it activated the wiper, which knocked off a camera that was mounted, which got him distracted and flustered right at the middle of the corner, which caused him to like go off. And he fucking like ripped the suspension out of his car. Like it was a little rough. And it aired on the show. This isn't a secret. It was in the show that this happened. But
man, you showed me the picture of that F50. I'm like, God, that could have been my baby.
Well,
I'm so lucky.
You've seen the Mustang video, right?
I don't think so.
There are 2 videos from Willow Springs that I cannot play.
But you should find them.
It's Mustang roll. So this video,
you got an extra.
It's okay. It'll still come up.
I don't know if I want to see that.
No, I can't play it, but you should see it. It's this one. Insane 5.0 Mustang jump and crash at Willow Springs. Go watch this video. It is fucking extraordinary. This dude loses brakes going into turn 8 and goes off at what doesn't seem like an unbelievable pace until he runs out of room and hits a berm that's a jump, and he sails through the air and lands on the green wall.
Oh, God, that's so far.
Yeah, at which he lands on the wall, at which point his GoPro or whatever the camera he was using flies off the car and lands on the ground, but facing back at the car and still recording. And it records him like getting out of the car, like, what the fuck just happened?
Michael Bay could not have asked for that.
Dude, it's amazing. And if you go to Willow, I wish I would have told you ahead of time to look for it. As you're driving around Big Willow towards streets of Willow, you drive past that green wall. And the section the dude took out, the paint is a totally different shade of green.
I remember that wall. Yeah, that's
hysterical. And the other one is the Shelby Cobra roll. That scary exit of turn 9.
That decreasing radius, like...
It decreases right before you get onto that front straight. And if you don't know it well, you will have a big fuck up there. And this guy, I think, did know it very well, but he was really on it and looped it. This is a Shelby Cobra replica. It might have been a Superformance or something. But looped it to the inside and rolled a bunch of times. And it's so gnarly. He did live. Yeah. I can't believe he lived. When you see the video, you can't believe he lived. And I think he might have even like mostly walked away from it. Oh wait, I should show it. It's this one. It's called Cobra Crash Willow Springs Raceway, 130 miles an hour. Go find those in your fucking spare time. They are crazy. Hi.
I'm so glad I didn't watch those.
No, yeah, and both of those are race cars in race those are people who are on the limit. They're not just
they're like pros. They're not.
Yeah, those guys aren't just.
They're not some dumb college kid, which is what I was.
Yeah, that's okay. Look, you get a little whoopsie in your car. It's okay. It happens.
It was a lot of shame.
I've had whoopsies in my cars before. I had a whoopsie in my Corvette at the Optima Ultimate Streetcar Invitational in front of a bunch of people. It was super embarrassing. I spun on my warm-up lap.
You didn't hit anything.
No, I didn't, but I did go off. It was really cold. It was like 35 degrees or something cold.
That was the thing, because we were at Willow in December, and so when we got there, it was freezing.
Really
so
cold.
we're like, we got to wait for the track to warm up. And so like the first few rounds, they were fine. I was like feeling good. And then we had lunch, and then I guess I ate a bunch of confidence too for lunch. So I came back.
They served that at Lamborghini.
No. This was when I was doing my track day. Lamborghini was serving tuna. It was good.
Nice.
So, I got back on the track and I was like, I'll lead. It's fine. I'll lead.
No problem.
No problem. By myself. And then there was no heat in the tires whatsoever, except for the hot air in the driver's head. So it was just like,
Yeah, it happens. I learned to never be the first person out on the cold track that day. It was extremely embarrassing. It happens though. What else have you been up to, man? How's life? I haven't seen you in since McLaren.
McLaren, which was in February?
Yeah.
Well, you got married.
I did.
And then you went to Italy, which I'm sure you talked about a bunch already.
Yeah, but it was great. Tuscany rules.
Yeah?
I strongly recommend Tuscany. All the food is ridiculous. And I learned to like cook all of it. So now
You going to actually make it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
But not for I imposed like a 2-week Italian food ban.
Smart.
Although last night after the show, I caved and I went home and I didn't like make pasta or anything, but like I cut. They just like toast Italian bread, like long fucking bread. They just cut it, toast it, and then pour like a half a gallon of olive oil on it and sprinkle it with salt. And I did that, and I felt so good.
So this was a carb.
So delicious.
It was like a carb overload, honey.
It wasn't an overload. It was just 2 little pieces, but I really needed it. My fucking being back, my eating's kind of fucked up. I can't really. I didn't. I should have weighed myself beforehand. I can't. Hannah gained like 2.5 pounds.
That's water weight. That's fine.
I think so too.
That's water.
Yeah, but I actually think I came out basically even, which is awesome. It's the weirdest thing about Italy. Have you fucked with Italy before?
Yeah.
So you go there and you eat all this shit, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm so fat," but you actually aren't. You actually haven't actually gained any weight. Huh. It's so weird.
That's like with going to Asia too. You eat all this food, and you come back, you're like,
is it because it's so humid you just sweat all of it out?
No, I mean, I was there in March, and it was like in the 60s.
Yeah.
It was fine. It's beautiful.
All right.
Yeah. I think what it is like it's not a whole lot of like cheese in the diet.
Well, you speak for yourself. In Italy,
in
it was 80% cheese.
Yeah, I mean, I live for that.
Yeah,
so,
it's amazing.
Congratulations.
I brought back many kilos of cheese.
Really? Like wheels?
I did bring back 2 wheels.
You brought back wheels?
Not like I tried to bring back. If you were here yesterday, sorry, I tried to bring back one of the big ones, one of the ones that you make cacio e pepe in, like the bowl one. You know, and it actually wasn't that expensive to buy the wheel. But the farm I was at that was selling all the cheese. I only bought things from Italy from when I was actually there.
Yeah.
Like the wine I didn't buy shit in stores. I bought it from the farms and from the vineyards, right?
That's a nice souvenir.
Yeah. But the problem with the vineyards sometimes, or with the cheese farm is they sell a wheel of cheese, but they don't expect some lunatic American to actually want to take one. They're like, no, we ship. I'm like, no, I take. And they're like, and they didn't have a vacuum sealer big enough for the big wheel. So I got like the I'll show you on my Instagram. I got like a medium-sized wheel. Here's my haul. So like,
that's your haul.
This
is
wheel.
Is this a ham?
No, it really looks like it.
Oh.
They don't let you bring hams back.
they don't do the cured.
That is a copper saucepan in a paper bag. We met an old man who makes copper saucepans and shit by hand. He's been doing it for like 6 years.
Did you bring an empty suitcase with you?
No, but I did bring I did manage to make all this fit. This wheel of cheese here, I think, was 2.5 kilograms, and it's like probably 10 inches diameter. It's pretty big.
Yeah,
this is all pretty big stuff.
Yeah, that's big, heavy,
yeah.
heavy food you've brought back.
Many kilograms.
They're like, sir, this is overweight.
Yeah, and they actually allowed they allow you 32 kilograms per person for luggage, which is like a shitload. These bags were so heavy and they were 24 kilograms. And I was like, yes, they're under 25. And they're like, sir, the limit is 32. I'm like, dude, you need a mule to fucking lug a 32 kilogram suitcase through customs. It was excessive. But now we have all the cheese.
You have all the cheese.
And all the wine and all the olive oil in the world. The olive oil fucks you up. Because you go to I went to Rome afterwards. Typically, if someone goes from anywhere to Rome, you're like, the Italian food, the food. Yo, after Tuscany, you're like, bro, they don't have it down here.
I had that same thought in Venice. It makes me feel really shitty because
in Venice, Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because Venice is so beautiful, and you go there, you're like, this is Disney World. This is Disney World Italian.
Well, it's a pretty small place.
Yes.
It's small, and it's such like a must-see tourist destination.
But it's like the Times Square of Italy.
Totally.
It's so expensive, and it's so many tourists. Like, we had just come from Florence, which is also like a pretty bustling like tourist area, but compared to
Florence rules though.
It does,
Florence is the best. Yeah. I think that's the best big city in Italy.
I think so too.
Yeah. It's delightful.
Okay. We should change topic because I'm just going to keep talking about
Italy.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everyone loves Italy.
I know.
Who doesn't? I haven't been down south yet, and you haven't been to Sicily.
I've been to Positano.
That's about as Amalfi Coast is far south I've been. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Positano rules. Yeah. Sorrento is my jam, though.
Sorrento, I gotta go to Sorrento.
Sorrento's like same kind of deal, just bigger.
Yeah. Did you go to Pompeii?
No, I haven't.
That shit rocks. It's so cool.
Just a little morbid. No, it's not that morbid.
It's not that morbid. Cool. If you don't want to see the bodies, you don't have to see the bodies.
I don't mind
you
the
can see the architecture.
I don't mind the bodies. I'm cool with the bodies. I went to that bodies like exhibit thing, which was really weird.
I'm not gonna do that. Oh, that sounds gross.
It's really strange.
It's like one exhibit that I really don't like want to smell. I think is
it doesn't smell.
I know, but I'm like, what if it did?
Those muscles and shit are like they're basically like dunked in like rubber cement.
I know.
Like it's like not. It's not. Yeah, it's not that.
I know.
I know what you mean.
It's a little like.
Well, a body smells disgusting.
Yeah.
But the worse than that actually is like a lot of times I'll go. I used to work when I was a little kid. I worked at stocking shelves at a Woolworths in White Plains.
Okay.
Seriously, you know how there's no more Woolworths anymore?
Wait, how old were you?
14.
Isn't that child labor?
Only if your dad is not the CEO of the company.
Okay.
If your dad is the CEO of the company, you're learning a valuable lesson.
You're learning a trade.
You're getting real world experience.
Okay.
And you know how there's no more Woolworths anymore?
Yeah.
You're welcome. That was my dad. My dad's responsible for that. But I
killed
worked
Woolworths.
Yeah, thank fucking God. That place was gross. And what I was getting to is I am so familiar with the smell of dead rat. I go into all kinds of oh shit, get the fuck out. The smell of dead rat is burned in my brain from working in that fucking place.
Gross.
Yeah. But it's amazing how often I smell it. I smell it all kinds of places.
Where?
Restaurants, grocery stores, fucking CVS's, like all kinds of places.
Such a specific scent tag.
Yeah.
Also, very underrated scent overall.
Yeah, I mean, I could bottle that shit and just, if you didn't know, you might be like, "Ooh, that's nice." But if you know, I'm just kidding. It's gross. It's gross no matter what. But I smell it all over the place. Should we talk about cars?
Yeah, let's talk about cars.
What do you like? What do you don't like? What are you feeling?
What do I like recently? Oh, I just drove the new Shelby GT350.
Oh, yeah. They updated.
Was fucking excellent.
What did they update?
They updated the aero slightly. They retuned the magnerized suspension a bit.
Oh no! Did I just? It has occurred to me that I may have left a bad screen on the whole time. I'm sorry if I did that, people. I apologize.
Yeah, there it is.
I apologize.
There it is. It looks pretty much
very nice.
The same,
but a little. It's got some like some more aggressiveness happening in the front.
Yeah. What's this website we're looking at? I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know. It was the first one I got. What do you want me to do?
Oh no!
What do you want me to do? Sorry.
SEO.
I know. Here.
Hey, that's my photo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to you.
That's the GT500.
That's the 500 though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was looking for a 350. Is that a 350?
That is a 350.
Well, then I meant to just get the photo. I suck.
Okay.
Where'd you go to drive it?
M1.
Oh, in Detroit? Mm-hmm. What was that about? How was the track?
I like it.
I've only been there when a car show was on it.
It's small. That GT350 needs more room.
Yeah, it's a big motor. Needs
big
horsepower.
motor.
Yeah.
I had never driven a flat plane before.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
It's nice.
It's very different.
Yeah.
The GT350, they have managed to make it feel way different from the rest of the Mustang.
It feels, I hate saying this because it's like, I don't think it should be a standard or anything, but it feels like European.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah. The high revving engine does that.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
They say that vibration is a little more inherent. I didn't really feel it because I've spent a lot of time with the Coyote engine. So this one had the Voodoo. And I really didn't feel the difference between the two.
No?
Not really.
The sound is certainly different.
The sound is super different. So there's no power upgrade. But they gave it new tires, and so because these
Cup
new
2s now?
Yeah, I think so. So they were specifically developed for this car. And because of that, they had to like recalibrate everything around it.
I think that the Voodoo engine has this real like sharpness to it that the Coyote doesn't have. And
it's just more awake.
It's more awake is a good word. Yeah, awake's a good word. It's like it's got the lighter flywheel. It revs up faster. It's got a more aggressive bark.
Snappier.
But the real difference to me is in like the gearbox because the shifter like in the Tremec is so much better and more direct. And
I think
not
it
as
might be
rubbery.
shorter.
I think the throw is also shorter.
I think the throws are shorter.
The length of the throw is less important to me than the fact that it's just like crisper. Like I think the weakest point of the regular GT is the fucking gearbox.
I can see that.
Which I've had trouble with in every single GT I've driven for the last 7-8 years.
I can see that.
They always grind second and third gear.
Yeah, second and third. I thought that was my press car. That was kind of wonky. No, it's just that one.
That's that MT82 gearbox.
Interesting.
Mustang people get so defensive about this. They're really sensitive. And they're not like, you know how like M3 people are really sensitive and you have to like treat them like.
About what?
They think it's the best car ever made and they don't really, they have like blinders on about it. A lot of the time. They did. It was more back in the day, but Mustang people too. And they refuse to acknowledge that the MT82 is a complete piece of shit. And so they're like, no. What you have to do is upgrade the bushings and then upgrade and then upgrade the synchros and then upgrade the clutch. And
How
then
about we upgrade the entire transmission?
Shifter. And then it's like, okay. And then it's fine.
It's like, perfect, except 17 items.
And then it's like, okay, so if then why does the Shelby get the better one? Well,
I asked their one of their engineers that because I'm like, hey, this is the only car like the side of a Ferrari or a McLaren where you can get a flat plain V8.
Well, I guess was the M3's V8? I mean, they don't make it.
They don't make it anymore,
obviously. But is really nothing else? McLaren and Ferrari, flat
V8,
plain V8 does AMG GT? No, I guess that's true. Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So that's like a big selling point for the GT350. I was like, why do you have it in this car? And like, why don't you put it in like your other Mustangs? They're like, well, we got to be exclusive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, makes sense.
I also think it does cost more to build that engine. And you know, they make a lot of fucking power for the regular GT. Like, that's a pretty good engine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that Coyote motor.
What's also spooky about the 350 is like, you know, not that long ago when something had 500 horsepower, you're like, holy shit, this thing has 500 horsepower. Now this thing has 526 easy and you drive it, you're like, this is really simple.
Yeah.
It's confidence inspiring. It doesn't try to murder you.
Well, because 526 NA is not the same as like 526 like twin turbo. You don't get that massive torque shove. You know, it doesn't feel like it will blow the tires off at 2,000 RPM.
Extremely linear.
Way other car, you know, that fucking 720 or something, you know, you mash it and you get that full torque spool at like 1,800 RPM and it wants to just fucking destroy, you know, vaporize the tires. The Mustangs actually don't really do that. The NA cars don't really do that.
They feel very approachable.
It's not like that slingshotty thing.
No.
It's like you actually can, you know, just use less throttle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That was the nice thing about it.
Yeah.
It was
the
nice.
Lambos are like that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of high red lines and natural aspiration. And that's going away. So
it is. But
you
like,
should enjoy it.
Yeah, well, then you have, what about like Gordon Murray's crazy shit? You have people who are going to build some crazy stuff.
But like people, like stuff that is from
accessible.
The OEMs.
Yeah, I've heard the next Mustang, maybe a hybrid. I don't know. They'll probably have a hybrid. I think it's gonna be the GT. Will be like from my cold dead hands kind of thing.
Yes, they're gonna hold on to that until the world ends.
Someone I know who will not be named.
Okay.
Went to see what is allegedly the Mustang electric crossover.
Oh, the Mach 1?
Yeah,
or
I think
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something different.
No, that might be it. It's whatever the Mustang branded crossover is.
Okay, sure.
It's an EV. And he said, despite not wanting to accept the fact that there is in fact an EV branded crossover called Mustang, or a Mustang branded EV crossover, it was actually pretty cool.
Sure.
Reluctantly, they were like, yeah, it's actually pretty sweet.
Sure. Sure, fine.
Sure, fine, whatever.
I'm tired. I'm tired of like arguing about, this shouldn't be that. Maybe when I don't
like manufactured nostalgia. That's the one thing I don't like.
I'm all about the nostalgia.
Did you see the On Her Majesty's Secret Service Edition fucking DB11?
I deliberately did not pay attention to that.
Extremely embarrassing.
I deliberately did not pay attention to that. I'm like, this is too much brand for one day.
It's extremely embarrassing. And I even joked about it in my bullet review. I made that joke. I was like, imagine Aston tried to sell you an On Her Majesty's Secret Service DB11. And it literally happened like, or DBS or whatever it was. It happened like 6 months later. Fucking bad. Profit.
So what exactly are we reminiscing here? Is the British Empire?
We're On Her Majesty's Secret Service was the
it's the James Bond.
It's James Bond.
The James Bond. Yeah.
And it's the fucking George Lazenby.
I didn't even see that one. I'm not the world's biggest Bond fan. I've not seen that one.
I haven't either. My dad is like a big Bond fan. I've seen like all the modern ones pretty much. I've
seen all the Pierce Brosnan today ones.
Yeah. And like a couple of Sean Connery ones. Mm-hmm. I've seen the Goldfinger. Yeah. But I haven't seen the I think I should commit myself, maybe for my next long flight, maybe I should commit myself to a Roger Moore.
Why?
I kind of like Roger Moore.
Okay.
Roger Moore, you know why I like Roger Moore? Because he played himself playing Bond in Cannonball Run.
Okay.
That's why I like Roger Moore.
Okay.
That's all I know, like, from his Bond, is that he played himself playing Bond in Cannonball Run. I think Cannonball Run 2, actually.
So this car was what, like Bond? What did it have? Guns? The
On Her Majesty?
Yeah.
No.
What did it do?
It has a plaque. It has the weird wheels. It has have you seen the wheels? Wait. On Her Majesty Secret Service.
Damn,
car.
that movie is old.
Yeah, it's old as fuck. DBS. It's a DBS Superleggera. It's new. And here, look, right?
Does it have the knockoff? No, it doesn't have.
No, it doesn't have knockoffs, but it has these crazy wheels.
Here,
so look, this is the wheels.
Oh,
so
no.
These wheels are actually kind of cool. Like, I'm not against the wheels. I think they're not going to age well at all. But it's a DBS Superleggera On Her Majesty's Secret Service edition. That's what it is. It's
green. Or whatever this...
It is. It's green. That's what they've done. They've made it green.
I don't like that.
The wheels?
No.
You know what it reminds me of? The Tweel.
What is that?
That's the tire wheel, the airless.
No, I don't like that.
It looks tweely, doesn't it?
So I have... Do you know what trypophobia is?
What trypophobia is?
Yes.
Is fear of tripping balls?
No. It's a fear of like very small like holes.
So, like getting stuck in one?
No, like if you just Google, I'm not gonna look. If you like Google pictures of trypophobia, like
TRYP or IP?
TRYPOPHOBIA. It's like images like that, like.
All right, close your eyes.
Images like that.
Oh, you're afraid of like a face full of holes.
Yes, or like.
Whoa, what about like a carbonation? Does carbonation bother you, or honeycomb?
It's very, very particular. I haven't been able to narrow it down, but I think at this point it's like small holes in like organic material freak me out, and I think the inherent fear is like disease or parasites.
Ew.
It just makes my skin feel really bad. I didn't know there was a word for it until 2013.
You're clear.
Thank you. I didn't know there was a word for it.
Back to the crashed F50.
Did you show everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, why would you do that?
I mean, I hope if anyone else had it, I hope that I didn't say hashtag triggered. Sorry, hashtag triggered. Too late.
Oh, God.
Oh, and here come the holes.
Yeah, they're the whole jokes. Go. Cool. Original, guys. Very clever. You're the first ones to make those jokes.
I know. You for a second, you were like, I'm afraid of small holes. And I was like, well...
Here we go. Yep. Set up.
Yep. I'm sorry for your fear.
Yeah. No. So those wheels, like, just a little bit, little, like in my stomach. I feel. I'm like, I don't know.
Wait. So what about like my Lambo with the phone dials? Does that bother you?
No. It's It's very hard for me to explain. It's one of those things where I only know it if I see it.
What about like? Can you not be around cheese graters?
No, that's fine because that's metal.
Oh,
you know.
But
if
it's organic.
Like,
so
right. So it's if there's like a corpse on a beach.
Pumice stone.
If there's a corpse on a beach and there's like fucking maggots in it, there's like holes and shit.
I don't think that's a phobia. I think I would probably throw up if I saw that. I don't have a phobia of it. I just think that's being grossed out by gross shit.
From a very young age, like I would see stuff like that in nature and it would just make me like really, really uncomfortable. And then in 2013, I read a BuzzFeed article. BuzzFeed, of all places, they were like, trypophobia is a thing and you have it. I was like, what's that? Click and I was like, oh my God,
was it a slideshow?
I was like, I fucking have it. Oh my God.
Next time you're on the show, like Ellen, I'm gonna bring out like.
That's what my friend did. He I told him about it, and then he would just keep sending me links of disgusting pictures.
That's awesome, as you do. That's a
nice
good friend.
He was a nice guy.
That's a good friend.
We're not friends anymore. Not because of that. Different reasons.
Yeah.
That's the type of person he was.
That's a good friend. That's the kind of thing my friends would do. That's if you're a guy, that's a good friend.
That sounds like
if you're a girl,
terrible.
That's a horrible friend. I know, it's weird like that.
Do you have bad friends?
Yeah. Yes, I definitely do. Oh my God, what else is happening in the world right now?
We moved offices. Not that it matters.
Where to?
Times Square, New York.
Oh my
City.
God, really?
Oh yes, all meetings are now taken at the Red Lobster of the Planet Hollywood.
Get the fuck out of here, really? Are you serious? You're not joking, are you?
No.
That's so horrible.
Yeah.
They make you go to Times Square.
Well, they don't make us do anything. We don't have
Times
to
Square
go.
Restaurants. Ooh.
So they're actually like okay takeaway places, like hidden in between all of the shit.
Yeah.
But we actually did go to happy hour at Red Lobster as like a stunt or something. Like Patrick George, my boss, like wanted to go do it. He's like, let's go to Red Lobster. And you know what? At prime happy hour time in New York City, like on, I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday, usually like most happy hour places we filled up. Red Lobster, fucking empty. Low key, best happy hour spot in the city.
They knew something you didn't know. I ate Red Lobster for the first time in my life. Like,
did you have lobster?
A year ago. I did have lobster, yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But the garlic rolls were great. It's basically an all garlic roll experience.
Yeah, and like they put the calorie count on the menu, and if you're conscious about these things, like I am, I'm like, why does this cocktail have 500 calories?
Yeah. Well, if you really want to be depressed, Cheesecake Factory. Forget that. There's a place here in LA called Islands. Do you know about Islands?
No.
It's just like a shitty Caribbean themed Applebee's basically, but their calorie counts were like, I mean, you could get a salad that was like 1,700, 1,800 calories.
What's
it was
in it?
great. Everything. What isn't in
it? A cow?
What isn't in it? I think it's like 7 gallons of blue cheese dressing.
That's gross.
Extremely gross. Yeah.
That's gross.
Did you guys drive the cars out to Willow Springs, by the way?
No.
Okay. You took a good drive over the Angeles Forest?
We were shuttled out in the morning in a very nice Sprinter van, and in the afternoon they helicoptered us back, which I was like, this is very unnecessary. This is so unnecessary.
Yeah, but how many pictures did you take for the gram?
I don't do that.
No? Okay, I'm not going to find any helicopter pictures here?
No. No, you're not.
You don't want to know how many pictures I took from the helicopter when Lamborghini sent me out on a helicopter to Palm Springs? 1,000.
Here's the thing, though, and I feel so shitty for it was very nice of them to do it because it took 20 minutes to get back because it was a good tailwind. 20 minutes. I get motion sickness like pretty badly
not a good job for you.
It's fine if it's like cars changing direction, but when you add the vertical element into it, like on boats and like turbulence. So I was just like sitting in the middle seat in the back, just like waiting for this to be over. Because it smells like fuel in there. You're wearing the headset and it's just like boom, 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 like constantly. You're like, this is very unpleasant.
It's not particularly, for a luxury experience, helicopters are not actually that luxurious feeling.
They're
it's just
not.
it's the looking down and seeing a traffic jam and not being in it. That's what it's
just
all
like
about.
Flying over like this.
Yeah,
like,
no, we did
all
like Palm Desert to Santa Monica in like 46 minutes on a Friday afternoon. That would have been a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, we were flying in at rush hour into Santa Monica. So
the worst. So,
that was appreciated. The convenience was appreciated. It is not my preferred method of travel.
I like this green GT350.
Oh, isn't that sick?
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. I love it. It started raining at M1, so we were like, let's all go inside. And
were you driving on the track in the wet?
Fuck no, no.
They weren't having you. I drove on Lime Rock in the wet on the first GT350.
They were like, no, everybody inside. And then when it stopped raining, like a few people went out, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Was it a nice track?
Yeah, it's smooth.
I'm gonna look at the map. It's one of these tracks that's built on like a square property.
Yeah.
So it's like, I like to joke that it's kind of like, it's the same thing as Thermal, where it's sort of like a board game. Yeah, like, look, it's like all in one property. It's in the middle of the fucking city. It's crazy.
Is. Like, we were driving through some very nice suburbs, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, they put a racetrack here?
Yeah. All of a sudden you get to Pontiac, and you're like, what?
okay.
Look at that. It's right. There's like just houses next door.
Yeah, and
cool.
The pit lane I think is maybe over here. Yeah, I'm bad at maps, but the pit lane is really nice that you can like have your own garage there. And someone was messaging me about it. They're like, "Oh yeah, there's like 918 spiders that live there, and like all this shit." I was like, "Really?"
Well, aren't the? Oh no, sorry, that's my phone ringing. Aren't these garages over here on the side?
I think that yeah.
Those are like some dope garages.
Yeah, these are real nice. So Ford had like a whole thing set up. It was really, really nice.
As you do.
As you do.
As you do with Ford when you're Ford. That's for Ford. That's so cheap. They just had to drive those cars like 20 minutes off the road.
Yeah. I don't know how much it was to rent out the track for a bunch of days and everything, but like
in Detroit, if you're Ford, not so bad.
I didn't think of that. Corporate.
Yeah.
Free.
It's not so bad. You don't have to ship the car. Yeah, it's great.
That's fine. And I was happy to go up to Detroit. I got to see David Tracy.
Detroit. Oh my God, that guy.
He took me to a junkyard.
Is that like a date a date for him?
Can we go to his Instagram for a second?
Is it just David Tracy?
It's David N. Tracy. Yeah.
This one?
So if you go down. Oh, good. You follow him. Keep going down. It was like a little while ago. There we are.
Look. That's very cute. That really is a good date. His Instagram is just full of junk.
This is what we were talking. So I was like, I had a few hours to kill, and I messaged him. I was like, hey, David, like, do you want to hang out? What do you want to do? He was like, almost without hesitation over Slack, he's like, let's go to a junkyard. I was like, sure.
Was he looking for something specific?
No, we were just being tourists. I had never been to a junkyard before. He's like, oh.
Did you find a little souvenir for yourself?
I almost bought what did I almost buy? I almost bought a carburetor. Just to have. It was so cool. I was like, I'm going to put it on my desk or whatever. But, I had a small suitcase with me, so I couldn't.
I completely understand.
But it was really nice because a lot of my job is figuring out how things work and explaining it to people. But there's only so many videos you can watch and so many like cutaways you can look at. But with a junkyard, everything is taken apart. Everything is disassembled.
Everything is exploded view.
Yes, everything is exploded view. So David had this golf club that was there, and he was like carrying it around as a pointer. And I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, this is a leaf spring suspension system. Like if you see this, it like works this way and everything. And I was like, oh. And he's like, over here we have like a different kind of suspension. So he's like pointing all of it out, and it was really, really cool. And we got to sit in some cars, not all of them. Some of them had things in them that I was like, it's biohazard. I'm not putting my pants on that.
People died in there.
Yeah, there was the one that we took a picture in front of.
Did you find one that was like soaked in blood?
It was always fire. One. It was like it had melted. I was like, do you think there was a body on those seats? So we're looking.
They usually get out when there's a fire. They don't usually die.
We were looking and we're like, okay, it doesn't look like the fire really got into the cabin. So hopefully these guys didn't get burned. But it was really fun. And there's like a picnic table in the middle of this junkyard with like vending machines. Like people go and hang out.
Yeah.
That's a great first date. That's how you weed out the bad ones when they don't like that.
If I can't imagine how many guys have taken girls successfully on a first date in a fucking junkyard.
That's when you know they're worth it.
I guess so.
When they don't go running for the hills.
I mean, look at this guy. Who doesn't want...
We love David. Don't make fun of David. I love David so much.
Too. I hope that's his Tinder picture.
I don't know if David's on Tinder.
That postal Jeep of his. Oh my God.
He brought that to M1.
What a fucking rough. That thing is brutal. It looks like it's actually held together with rust.
He brought that to M1 being like, can we drive it? Can I drive it on the track? And the four people were like, maybe. Let us take a look at it. And it like pulled up and then they're like, no. No way. That's not allowed on the track. Sorry.
Good. They shouldn't even allow that on the road.
He made it all the way to fucking Utah and back.
And what did he leave along the way? Other than his dignity.
David has so much dignity that it's just like it's like come all. No, I'm not like being David apologist. I'm like, this is the way he is.
Of course.
It's just like whatever, fuck it. I'll sleep in it. And I'm like, I draw the line there.
I want to fucking luminol and blacklight that fucking thing. That's brutal.
Extremely brutal. It drives though, and it actually idles pretty well.
Better than my 911 when it's cold.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
My car doesn't idle for shit when it's cold.
It's parked outside. I want to see it when we're done with this.
Yes. I've been driving it all day. It's my errand car. There's like fucking a box for FedEx in the passenger seat right now.
You're a man of the people, Matt Farah.
What? I have to return cat food. I got sent the wrong cat food.
Why is it wrong?
It's like medical cat food because Conrad and Pico are 14 now, so they have to have like special urinary health cat food. But they sent me the lose weight cat food.
That's
which is
wrong.
Which is
extremely
wrong.
Yeah. Very bad.
We're trying to keep them from losing weight.
Yes.
It's the opposite, fuckers. Anyway, what do you say we enjoy this afternoon and not fucking sit here and podcast all day?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's answer a few questions and then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Are we doing reader questions?
There's a couple.
Okay.
Miguel says, if you got one while we're finishing up, throw it in the super chat right now if you're with us live. Miguel says, what's the best automatic transmission car for 20 G's as an easy daily driver? Mine upshifts way too early. I love manuals, but I deliver pizzas, so autos are easier.
Use GTI.
Dual clutch.
Done.
The DSG. Oh, there you go. I'm glad we're in agreement, Kristen. Mm-hmm. That is nothing easy for you.
Quality interior, lots of space, sporty, feels great.
Yeah, I also think there's probably a couple of cars, let's see, that are available that have a decent enough paddle shift system. What else is 20?
I guess you could do a CL. No, that's not.
I mean, Audis, like,
it's the same.
They're the same, but like, A4s and A3s, are down in that range.
Who else is putting DSGs? Mercedes is
actually, shockingly enough, the 86s. 86s have a very.
That's
it's not
right.
a dual clutch, but it's a very good, responsive auto.
Okay,
they're way better than you think. And 20 goes a long way in 86s.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go. Ed wants to know, what is a good project, track, or weekend manual coupe for under 5 Gs? I need to replace my 81 E30 when I'm done with it. 5 is not much money.
No.
Ed.
Get a Triumph.
Fuck it.
Do it.
Costs $5K, needs $30K of work.
Just line your garage and then WeatherTech. It'll be fine.
Look, I think you can start looking at weird ass oddballs like Fiat X19s and shit like that.
Sure.
Or, I would say look into importing like a Honda Beat or a Suzuki Cappuccino, or buying one of those that's already here. Those are really fun.
Duncan.
You can go to, who's that, an importer?
Gary Duncan?
Yeah, who's
Gary
he?
Duncan's he's an importer. He's in Virginia, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Right now. He has all this like weirdo Japanese stuff. It's like a whole garage. It's got like hundreds of them. K cars, mint condition, all for sale.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, look up Gary Duncan.
All right. If you're on the East Coast, if you're on the West Coast, my homie Sean Morris is where I just bought my Delica.
How much is a Sarah?
Oh, like 8.
Oh, really?
7 to 10 maybe.
So.
That's I wouldn't call that a project track car. That's like a little fun cruiser.
Yeah.
Like I would get one of those for Hannah to fuck around in.
Yeah. Oh
like
man,
I would
fuck around with her. It'd be so fun. We go around Venice getting ice cream in it.
Well, you're gonna take my Delica out when I get that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited for that. But 5 Gs, I mean, look at old Mustangs, look at old Camaros, 240s. I mean, it may be tough to find a 240 for 5 that's good.
You can maybe get a 280.
Yeah.
Or a
old
300.
80s 300ZX. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. F-body Camaros are right in that wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. That should get you started.
Yeah.
Or if you want to start looking older, like Hondas, like 1995 to 2001 Hondas.
Yeah.
Because double wishbone suspension and high revving engines, and you can kick the shit out of them without breaking them, which is great fun. Laguna Blue S2000 says, I fucked up my back, so the Focus RS is out. Good choice, sir. I'm considering a used Macan S or the M235i. Jesus, the M235i is the car that won't go away. I had about 6 questions about the M235i yesterday.
I like that car.
30 to 40K, something fun for a commute on the Angeles Forest. Well, look, if you want any crossover, the Macan is the best one.
Yeah, it really is.
The Macan S with the Cobb tune and exhaust is basically a GTS.
It's good.
It's very nice.
They're very, very nice cars.
M235i, do you need a back seat? Do you not need a back seat?
Back seats are tight.
Yeah, and also there's only 2 doors.
Yeah.
Angeles Forest is not super tight. You're fine in a Macan there. I think you'd have a good time. Also, you might want to check out the Ford Edge Sport. I'm not kidding.
Really?
If you want to save a little money and get something newer than the Macan S.
Probably cheaper to keep.
Let's see. What else could be fun in that Price range.
What are we looking at? 30, 40?
Golf R.
Yeah.
I mean, a Golf R is...
Does that ride kind of hard, though?
Nah, they ride good.
Okay.
They ride good. Not as much travel, obviously, as the Macan, but they do ride nice.
Yeah.
I would check that. Or maybe an Audi SQ5, lightly used. They're kind of fun.
What about a Mustang?
Yeah. Or a Mustang
They're
GT.
comfy.
They ride... Yeah, Mustang GTs ride
comfy.
soft. Yeah.
Like, they're for big people.
Yeah, I agree. XO concurs. All right, there you go. James says, I found the nice 1985 Euro spec BMW 320i with 40,000 miles. I want to daily it, but only have 3 to 4K saved for maintenance costs. Am I in over my head? I'm 24. Advice. So
I feel like if you could, I want to know how much he's willing to do himself.
yeah, I agree. Like, how much do you need that car to, like, get to work?
Yeah.
Like, if it breaks, how fucked are you?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Are you going to get fired if that car's not running?
Yeah.
Do you have any alternative? Like, do you have a beater or something for the side?
He says he wants to daily it.
Like, yeah, I think that's possible. I think you can daily that car.
You're just walking a very fine line.
You kind of are. And 40,000 miles is really good, but you may also need to replace like rubber shit.
That's what I'm going to say. It's from 85.
Yeah.
So
like if it hasn't had like even
some
though it's
stuff
only,
might have rotted.
totally. And you probably have to do the equivalent of 100,000 mile service on it.
Yeah.
No matter what. You know what I mean? Like that car, as soon as you buy it, that car needs $1,000. I guarantee you that car needs $1,000 worth of something right now.
But apparently they're easier to work on and wrench on than like the 7 Series because I think Patrick George had something similar to that. And he was okay like wrenching on it in his garage.
Yeah. People learn on E30s.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're willing to do some shit.
And he's 24. Like, I don't know where you are in your life, but like, if you don't have kids that need to get to school, like, you know, if you have a significant other, if you don't, like, no one's really relying on you, you have this car. I mean, you have some free time in the weekend. Like, why not? I would be wary.
Yeah.
Of it blowing up.
Yeah, I agree. You know, what's your time worth, basically, is the question. Let's see. Eli says, we always talk about performance bargains on the used market, but we hardly ever see older cars with modern tires installed tested against newer cars. How come we don't see that review format more often?
That's a very interesting question.
Well, I think partially, you wouldn't see it with press cars. I think if you started doing a show where you took press cars and you took the older car and put them on the newer tire and went, see, it's all, you know, it's within a half a second because of the tire, I think you'd stop. You wouldn't get press cars very often.
Yeah, so the logistical issue for me on Jalopnik is we just don't have the means of doing that.
Yeah. I mean,
I
don't have a real answer for you. I know that if I started testing, if I started doing a new, they don't like you doing the new one versus the old one very often. They get kind of annoyed when you start doing that.
Yeah.
Now, someone could have a show that was based entirely on getting cars from individuals and not from manufacturers and probably do that sort of format. I think it's a niche market. I mean, the number of people who want to see what the new car is all about compared to the number of people who want to see what the gains are from the tires alone. I think we all know that tire technology gets better.
Yeah.
And I think we all know that if you put newer tires on an older car, it's a drastic improvement in performance, sometimes beyond the design limits of the original product. Sometimes if you put new tires on an old car, you start breaking shit because they're not used to the lateral G's or the braking forces or whatever. That happened to me. I broke an actual wheel, the wheel itself.
On what?
Because I put so much more grip in the tire, the wheel couldn't handle it and snapped. It was not a well-designed wheel.
God,
but
I was going to say
I mean, look, the wheel itself had its own flaws, but the flaws did not become apparent until I put a better tire on it that was capable of exerting more forces. And so I just think that the reason we don't see that format, Eli, is because you're talking about a niche within a niche.
Yeah.
But I think that if you look at publications like Grassroots Motorsports and stuff like that, where you see tire tests on older cars all the time. Yeah.
It's not something I've ever thought about. That's a good idea.
I mean, the answer is it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
but
that's
especially the older you go, you know. But even on my Mercedes SL, which I just sold, when I bought it, I went from like whatever shit tires were on it when I bought it to Pilot Super Sports, and like the ride gets better, it gets quieter, the brakes work better, everything is better. So like, yeah, tires are great. They make a big difference. But I think it's a nerdy topic to begin with that doesn't generate a lot of excitement.
Yeah, that's the problem with tires.
Yeah, it is. There's tires, like, that's why when there's a tire launch, it's even more extravagant than a press launch because the tire is so unsexy that they have to. I mean, look, Michelin ranks fucking restaurants.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. Like, we're gonna pivot to food.
I'm going to it's a Michelin star. Oh, the tire company thinks that this restaurant is great. You know what I mean? Like, how silly is this? We're to sell fucking tires. It's crazy.
It is.
There we go. Anyway, Jordan says, any recommendation on lower profile driving gloves? I'm trying to avoid the hardcore look while I dip my toe into driving schools and track days.
Can I be mean for a second?
Be mean, Kristen.
If you show up with driving gloves, you're going to look like a fucking tool.
Sorry. To a track day, if you show up with driving gloves, you think?
Yeah.
I disagree. I'm going to disagree with you. I think if you're out on the street with driving gloves on
that's
and your steering wheel's made of anything besides wood, you look like a fucking douche.
Even when it's wood, just hold it harder.
Don't be a bitch.
We're like, there, hold it.
Yeah, like, what are you? You're not fucking Sterling Moss. Like, chill. I disagree with you, Kristen. I think if you go to a track day, especially if you're going somewhere where it's hot, and your hands do get sweaty, if you're running full 20 or 30-minute sessions, your hands could get hot.
Okay.
And so I would say that I prefer to wear Sparco driving gloves. And I'm sorry, I don't. I wear Sparco suit. I wear Alpinestars driving gloves.
Okay.
I don't know about lower profile. They're black. Like, there's not a lot.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think he doesn't want to look like he's trying to be Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, so
like,
just
I have another pair of driving
flashy
gloves that has a watch on it, like a Chopard watch. It was a gift from Classic Car Club.
Right.
But it literally, it has the fucking watch on the outside of it.
You didn't buy it at all.
No, it was a gift. It was a gift. Whatever. I didn't buy it. But I have worn it. I've worn them.
So I will walk the statement back a little bit. I think given what you're driving, if it's like really hot and like the steering wheel gets hot and maybe you don't have a windshield or something and you like need that to like protect yourself.
Yeah.
But like if you have just like a regular car and there's like Alcantara like leather on the steering wheel, that's fucking grippy already. Like you can.
Yeah, I agree. I think unless you have a sweatiness problem, I wouldn't do it proactive. Like I wouldn't do it prophylactically, preventatively.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But if you do, I've always used Alpinestars gloves, and I've always been happy with them. And they're just black. Like it's not they're not super fancy. So yeah, and if you buy a nice set, like a nice set's kind of expensive. Like maybe I don't know, maybe like $150 to $200. But they're I've bought a cheap set and I bought a nice set, and the nice set is so much more comfortable. It really is. And so I don't know. I would try to see if you could try them on before you buy. But anyway, Spencer wants to know tips on getting better on track. Should I check out Ross Bentley? Yes, you should. Ross Bentley Speed Secrets. If you want some literature on driving fast, great book. Ross has a great podcast too. He's like one of the best driving instructors in the world. So most group track days, like with your local clubs, have instruction. You can start there. If you really want a good jump start, a 2, 3, or 4 day racing school, if you got a couple of G's to spare.
They're expensive.
They're expensive, but you do really come out of there far beyond where if you had just done a couple of track days.
I think
it's their cars.
It is their cars. Their insurance.
It's their cars, their insurance. And so that helps. I think actually, like, if you want to learn the track craft, like turn-in points and apexes and that's one thing. If you want to learn just car control and driving skills, go to Dirtfish. Dirtfish Rally School. Yeah. You get my driving in terms of like the things I've done in a car educationally and the jump I got in skill from doing those things, spending 3 days at Dirtfish was by far the biggest jump in skill for me. In terms of sliding, weight transfer, left foot braking.
It's very much exaggerated when there's no tarmac and it's all loose. Yeah,
it's great, but you learn so much. So that, I think if you want to get comfortable with the car moving around and doing unorthodox things with your feet and moving that weight transfer, and like, to me, learning weight transfer was so important in getting a lot better at track. It's really cool because you really need to shift that weight forward to initiate slides and stuff like that. And so rally school was the best.
The two pieces of advice I would give, one is for your eyes, is every single racing instructor I've ever done, every single track day, race school, they always tell you eyes up and don't fixate on anything. And that goes for driving out there in the world, but especially on the track, because you always want to be looking at what you're about to do next, because your hands naturally go where your eyes go. So if you're looking at the wall because you're afraid of crashing, generally that's probably where you're going to go.
Don't do that.
Don't look at the wall ever. Don't look at the ditch. Don't look at anything. Look at your next apex and look at what you're about to do next. And your hands will naturally go that way. I don't know why it happens, but it's like magic. And the second thing is deflate your ego. That's the most important thing to go on a track day. Because, like, you know, I don't know what the situation is. Maybe you are there with like a bunch of really advanced people and there's like pressure from a crowd or whatever.
It's naturally an ego type activity.
Yeah,
Sports
you want to
cars
be fast.
draws the same thing. You're going fast. There's timers around. Nobody really wants to come out and say, hey, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, you just got to deflate the ego, because when you go into it thinking that you know everything, you're naturally probably not going to listen as well. You're not going to ask questions. You're going to write off your instincts that tell you otherwise. So go into it just being like, I don't know what's going on. These instructors know what they're talking about. I'm going to shut up and listen to them. I'm going to follow what they say.
Yep. And lastly, before we get out of here, Josh says, what's my favorite garbage one take you drove? I think he might mean, I don't know about, I don't know what he means by garbage, but like, if you want to, I'll just extrapolate that to mean a very cheap car that I had a very good time driving.
Okay.
I think. Or it could be like the worst cars ever. The worst car ever was that thing that was called like the Crowworks. It was like an exoskeleton type thing, but it was a complete piece of shit.
Okay.
And I drove that at Road Atlanta, and I felt like I was going to die the whole time. That was really bad, and if I never see one of those again, that'll be too soon. In terms of like something I actually enjoyed, but the car like wasn't great, I drove a sort of beatery Civic that had a hot motor and a good set of shocks and light wheels and tires, and it was fun as fuck. I also drove someone's like Yaris. They took a Yaris and put like a Corolla engine in it with an LSD, and then put like good shocks, and it was fast.
Nice.
It was really fun. It weighed like 2,300 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah. So like anything that's super light, high revvy, with good suspension geometries, a limited slip diff.
Tossable.
Yeah, tossable is good. And there's a lot of stuff that falls into that category. What do you want to plug before we get out of here? Your Instagram, which features almost no pictures of you.
Yeah, that's on purpose. It's all on purpose.
And it features lots of photos from your travels, but only after you're no longer there.
Yes.
People are creepy.
Because people are creepy.
You notice I don't tag my wife in my Instagram.
I did notice that.
Yeah. At first she was like, why don't you tag me? And I was like,
it's for your own protection.
Yeah. I was like, these people are terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. There was a girl that like wanted to be all up in my Instagram back in the day that I dated, wanted to be tagged and shit. It didn't go well for her. Ultimately.
I don't mind like the tagging. It's just like, I don't go out of my way to put myself on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're a girl who works in a male thing on the internet. There's just a lot of ways for that to go bad.
Yeah. One thing I do want to plug. So we're throwing a party if you're in New York City during the weekend of the 16th.
Is there a post on Jalopnik about it?
Yes. If you look up Le Mans Stravaganza.
What? Le Mans Stravaganza?
Le Mans Stravaganza. It's our 24-hour Le Mans viewing party.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know how to spell it. I think it's like Le Mans Stravaganza.
Let's see how they're tagging this.
Oh,
there it is. Okay, cool.
This one. Yes. Okay.
Giant all-day party for the 24 hours of Le Mans. Where it be?
Red Hook Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. So I know we're talking in California right now, but it will be in Brooklyn, and you're welcome to come. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have booze. We're gonna have the race up on big screen, but it's not just going to be that. Like, you're welcome to like stay over, bring sleeping bags because it's a 24-hour race. So we're going to have events. I think we're doing like a painting exercise. Like, someone's going to come and teach us how to like paint a picture.
Is the Hamilton a hotel?
I think it's an event space.
Okay.
And we're going to have, I think Alanis King is teaching a fitness class.
Awesome.
Which would be fun. We'll have like a Forza tournament.
Do you want me to come do like a cooking demo, like a cooking class?
Do you want to come all the way to New York to do it?
No, I can't come that day anyway, but it sounds fun.
It's Father's Day.
If I lived in New York, I would be there.
I mean, you could come for Father's Day.
I can't. I'm actually coming to New York the last week in June, but I can't go.
Okay, you should call me.
Sorry, I will.
Okay, so anyway, that's happening.
That's
it's
cool.
Free to come.
It's Le Mans Stravaganza.
Yes.
You can just find it on Jalopnik. Google, search for Le Mans and Stravaganza.
Yes. And you don't have to like stay for the whole 24 hours. It's not like a lockdown or anything. It's like open door, like come and go. As you
don't lock it down?
No. Right. Lock you in.
What was I going to promote? I have a piece coming out on Jalopnik. I think probably tomorrow.
I know about it.
Is it
I'm
tomorrow?
very excited. I don't know.
Patrick sent me the illustration.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Who's the artist over there now?
We have a whole team of people, so I'm not sure who the request went to.
I can show it to you.
I would like to see it.
It's really fucking good.
Is it the one about your obsession? The story about like what you're obsessed with?
What I'm obsessed with?
Every time I come visit you, we talk about these things.
What, bird scooters?
Yeah.
I'm not obsessed with them, but they're like prevalent in my life.
Yes.
I'm not going to show it on the screen, but it's a really good piece.
I think I know who did that.
It's very cool. It's a lightning lap of mobility scooters. Yeah, it's a fun piece.
Every time I come over, you're like, look at that shit. Look at them. Look at them fucking all over the place.
Yeah, because they're just garbage and all over my fucking hood. Like, because people just can't take care of something that isn't locked down or that they personally own.
When I was here and I was like trying to get an Uber here, I was looking at the app and like for Google Maps, it's like, okay, how long is it going to take? And like one of the options was Lime. And I was like, get the fuck out of here with that suggestion. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm. The one you do want, well, I'm not going to give it up. I'm not gonna scoop.
Don't spoil.
I'm not gonna scoop myself.
I am looking forward to reading that.
Yeah, I think it'll be up this week, but if not next week, it'll be fun.
Okay.
Follow Kristen at Instagram, Kristen Lee.
That's the first combination of that was available.
That's really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So I kept hitting the E until they're like, this one's free. And I was like, done.
Perfect. And then also add thejalopnik.com. If you need somewhere to keep your car in LA, god damn, is my place looking good. I was just over there.
I saw pictures.
It looks amazing. And we're going to be open in September. So hit me up. It's that email address is now for real, matt@westsidecollectorcarstorage.com. And my website for the business probably will be up middle of next week, I think. Anyway, that's our show for today. Thanks very much, folks. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. All you need is a microphone, a connection to the internet, and ideally, something to say. Goodbye, folks.